If you're over 50 and struggling with blood sugar spikes that leave you feeling exhausted, foggy, and frustrated, then what I'm about to share with you could completely transform your relationship with food and your energy levels. In fact, there are 7 specific vegetables that most diabetics over 50 have sitting right in their refrigerator, but they're preparing them completely wrong, eating them at the wrong time, and missing out on their incredible blood sugar stabilizing power. I'm going to reveal exactly which 7 vegetables these are, the specific portions you need to eat, the exact order to consume them in your meals, and most importantly, the 3 preparation methods that can either skyrocket your blood sugar or keep it perfectly stable for hours. By the end of this presentation, you'll have a complete system that could help you avoid those dangerous post-meal glucose spikes, reduce your dependency on medications, and finally feel energetic and clear-headed again. But here's what's truly shocking. Most people over 50 who have been diagnosed with diabetes or prediabetes are told to avoid certain vegetables entirely, when the real problem isn't the vegetables themselves, it's how they're being combined, prepared, and timed within their meals. The medical community has been focusing on the wrong thing entirely, and I'm going to prove it to you with recent research that will surprise even your doctor. Now, before we dive into these 7 miracle vegetables, I need to make something crystal clear. The information I'm sharing today is for educational purposes only and should never replace professional medical advice. If you're taking insulin, sulfonylureas like glipizide or glyburide, or blood thinners like warfarin, you absolutely must work with your healthcare provider before making significant changes to your diet. Some of these vegetables are incredibly high in vitamin K, which can affect blood clotting, and others are so effective at stabilizing blood sugar that they might require medication adjustments. Let me start by explaining why vegetables are so crucial for blood sugar control, especially after 50. As we age, our insulin sensitivity naturally decreases, our muscle mass tends to decline, and our metabolism slows down. This creates a perfect storm where our bodies become less efficient at processing glucose, leading to those dangerous spikes that damage our blood vessels, organs, and overall health. But here's where it gets interesting. Non-starchy vegetables contain a powerful combination of fiber, water, polyphenol, and minimal carbohydrates that work together like a natural blood sugar medication. The fiber slows down the absorption of glucose into your bloodstream, the water helps you feel full with fewer calories, and the polyphenol actually improve your insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. However, and this is crucial, the magic isn't just in eating these vegetables, it's in how you structure your entire plate and the order in which you eat your food. I call this the 50+ plate method, and it's based on groundbreaking research from the University of Surrey that showed eating vegetables and protein before carbohydrates can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 37%. Here's how it works. Half of your plate should be filled with non-starchy vegetables, 1/4 with lean protein like fish, poultry, eggs, or legumes, and 1/4 with complex carbohydrates like quinoa, brown rice, or sweet potato. But here's the game changer. You eat the vegetables and protein first, then add a small amount of healthy fat like olive oil or avocado, and save the carbohydrates for last. This sequence is absolutely critical because when you eat fiber and protein first, they create a protective barrier in your stomach that slows down the absorption of carbohydrates. It's like having a natural time-release mechanism for your glucose, preventing those dangerous spikes that can reach over 200 milligrams per deciliter and stay elevated for hours. Now, let me share the specific criteria I used to select these 7 vegetables. First, they had to contain at least 2 grams of fiber per serving, which is enough to significantly impact blood sugar absorption. Second, they needed to be low in total carbohydrates, ideally under 10 grams per cup. Third, they had to be versatile and accessible, meaning you can find them in any grocery store year-round. Fourth, they needed to have a proven track record of stable glycemic response in people over 50. And finally, they had to be easy to prepare in ways that don't sabotage their blood sugar benefits. You see, this last point is where most people go completely wrong. They take a perfectly healthy vegetable like eggplant and bread it, fry it in vegetable oil, and serve it with a sugary marinara sauce. Or they take nutrient-dense broccoli and drown it in cheese sauce loaded with processed flour and hidden sugars. These preparation methods not only cancel out the blood sugar benefits but can actually make your glucose spike higher than if you hadn't eaten the vegetables at all. Before I reveal the 7 vegetables, I want you to think about this question, and I'd love for you to share your answer in the comments below. Which vegetable appears most often in your refrigerator right now? Is it broccoli, spinach, carrots, zucchini, bell peppers, or something else entirely? Write it down because I guarantee that at least one of your regular vegetables is going to be on my list, but you might be preparing it in a way that's working against your blood sugar goals. Alright, let's dive into the first vegetable on our list. And this one might surprise you because it's often overlooked despite being one of the most powerful blood sugar stabilizers available. Vegetable number 1. Broccoli, the fiber powerhouse. Broccoli isn't just a vegetable, it's essentially a natural diabetes medication disguised as food. 1 cup of cooked broccoli contains over 5 grams of fiber, which is more than many fiber supplements, along with only 6 grams of total carbohydrates. But here's what makes broccoli truly special for blood sugar control. It contains unique sulfur compounds called glucosinolates that actually improve your body's ability to process glucose at the cellular level. Research from Johns Hopkins University found that sulforaphane, a compound concentrated in broccoli, can reduce fasting blood glucose by up to 10% in people with type 2 diabetes. That's comparable to what you might see with certain medications, except broccoli comes with 0 side effects and a host of additional health benefits. The key to getting maximum blood sugar benefits from broccoli lies in how you prepare it. Steaming broccoli for no more than 5 minutes preserves the highest levels of sulforaphane while maintaining the fiber structure that slows glucose absorption. Raw broccoli actually contains even more of these beneficial compounds, but many people over 50 find it difficult to digest, so light steaming is the perfect compromise. Here's my favorite broccoli preparation method for blood sugar control. Cut fresh broccoli crowns into uniform pieces, steam them for exactly 4 minutes until they're bright green and still have a slight crunch, then immediately toss them with a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, a squeeze of fresh lemon juice and a pinch of sea salt. The olive oil helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins in broccoli, the lemon juice adds additional blood sugar stabilizing properties, and the salt enhances the natural flavors without adding any glucose-spiking ingredients. The proper portion size for broccoli is 1 cup of cooked florets, which should fill about half of a standard 9-inch dinner plate when combined with other non-starchy vegetables. This might seem like a lot if you're used to having vegetables as a small side dish, but remember we're flipping the traditional plate structure to prioritize blood sugar stability over outdated dietary conventions. You can also prepare broccoli by quickly sautéing it with garlic and ginger. Heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a large pan, add minced garlic and ginger, sauté for 30 seconds until fragrant, then add the broccoli and cook for 3 to 4 minutes, stirring frequently. The garlic and ginger both have their own blood sugar lowering properties, creating a synergistic effect that's more powerful than any single ingredient alone. One crucial mistake I see people make with broccoli is overcooking it until it becomes mushy and gray. When broccoli is overcooked, it loses much of its fiber structure and beneficial compounds, plus it becomes less satisfying to eat, which means you're more likely to fill up on higher carb foods later in the meal. Another common error is adding high-carb sauces or toppings. Cheese sauce, honey-glazed preparations, and even some commercial salad dressings can contain enough sugar and processed carbohydrates to completely negate broccoli's blood sugar benefits. Stick to simple preparations with healthy fats, herbs, spices, and acid like lemon juice or vinegar. Vegetable number 2, kale and collard greens, the blood sugar guardians. Dark leafy greens like kale and collard greens are absolute powerhouses when it comes to blood sugar management, but they're also the most misunderstood vegetables on this list. Many people avoid them because they think they're too bitter or too tough, when the real issue is that they're not preparing them correctly. 1 cup of chopped kale contains only 7 grams of carbohydrates but over 2 grams of fiber, plus it's loaded with magnesium, which plays a crucial role in insulin sensitivity. Research from the Harvard School of Public Health tracked over 100,000 people for 20 years and found that those who ate the most leafy greens had a 14% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. But here's what makes kale and collard greens truly special for people over 50. They contain compounds called thylakoids that actually slow down the digestion of fats and carbohydrates, extending the feeling of fullness and preventing the rapid blood sugar spikes that can occur when you eat too quickly or don't chew your food thoroughly. The key to making kale and collard greens delicious and digestible is a technique called massaging. This might sound strange, but it's actually a culinary method that breaks down the tough cell walls and reduces the bitter compounds that many people find off-putting. Here's how you do it. Remove the thick stems from your kale or collard leaves, chop them into bite-sized pieces, then literally massage them with your hands along with a pinch of salt and a teaspoon of olive oil for 2 to 3 minutes until the leaves become darker and more tender. This massaging technique not only improves the taste and texture but actually increases the bioavailability of the nutrients, meaning your body can absorb more of the beneficial compounds that help regulate blood sugar. For collard greens, my preferred preparation method is a quick sauté that maintains their nutritional integrity while making them incredibly flavorful. Heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a large pan, add minced garlic and a pinch of red pepper flakes, Then add chopped collard greens and cook for just 3 to 4 minutes until they're wilted but still bright green. Finish with a splash of apple cider vinegar and a pinch of sea salt. The apple cider vinegar is particularly important because it contains acetic acid, which has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 20%. A study published in the Journal of Functional Foods found that consuming just 2 tablespoons of vinegar before a high-carbohydrate meal significantly blunted the glucose response. The proper portion for leafy greens is 1 to 2 cups of raw leaves or about 3/4 of a cup when cooked. Because they're so low in calories and carbohydrates, you can be generous with your portions, and the high fiber content will help you feel satisfied while leaving more room for the protein and healthy fats that complete your balanced meal. One critical point about leafy greens: if you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, you need to maintain consistent intake rather than dramatically increasing or decreasing your consumption. These greens are high in vitamin K, which affects blood clotting, so work with your doctor to find the right balance for your medication regimen. Many people make the mistake of buying pre-washed, pre-cut leafy greens that have been sitting in plastic containers for weeks. These have lost much of their nutritional value and often taste bitter or metallic. Instead, buy fresh bunches of kale or collard greens, wash them thoroughly, and prepare them within 3 to 4 days of purchase for maximum nutrient density and flavor. Vegetable number 3. Red cabbage, the antioxidant powerhouse. Red cabbage might be the most underrated vegetable for blood sugar control, and I guarantee it's sitting in most grocery stores right now for less than $2 per head, yet it contains more blood sugar stabilizing compounds than vegetables costing 5 times as much. 1 cup of shredded red cabbage contains only 7 grams of carbohydrates and over 2 grams of fiber, but what makes it truly special are the anthocyanins, the same compounds that give blueberries their reputation as a superfood. These purple pigments have been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation in the blood vessels, which is crucial for preventing the long-term complications of diabetes. A study from the University of East Anglia found that people who ate the most anthocyanin-rich foods had a 23% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Red cabbage contains higher concentrations of these compounds than many berries, but without the natural sugars that can cause blood glucose spikes in sensitive individuals. The texture of red cabbage is also incredibly beneficial for blood sugar control because it requires significant chewing, which slows down your eating pace and gives your brain time to register fullness signals. This prevents overeating and helps maintain stable glucose levels throughout the meal. My favorite way to prepare red cabbage for blood sugar management is as a raw slaw with apple cider vinegar dressing. Shred half a head of red cabbage using a sharp knife or mandolin slicer, then massage it with a teaspoon of sea salt for 2 minutes to soften the fibers. Rinse briefly to remove excess salt, then toss with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of olive oil and freshly ground black pepper. This preparation method maximizes the blood sugar benefits because raw cabbage retains all of its fiber structure and enzyme activity, while the vinegar provides additional glucose-lowering effects. You can prepare a large batch of this slaw and keep it in the refrigerator for up to 5 days, making it an incredibly convenient option for busy weeknights. You can also prepare red cabbage by lightly sautéing it with onions, which adds natural sweetness without spiking blood sugar. Heat 1 tablespoon of coconut oil in a large pan, add sliced onions and cook for 3 minutes until they start to soften, then add shredded red cabbage and cook for another 5 minutes until it's tender but still has some crunch. The natural sugars in the onions caramelize during cooking, creating a satisfying sweetness that can help reduce cravings for high-carb desserts later in the evening. The proper portion size for red cabbage is 1 cup raw or 3/4 cup cooked. Because it's so low in calories and high in fiber, you can eat generous portions without worrying about blood sugar spikes, and the volume will help you feel satisfied with smaller amounts of higher carb foods. One mistake I see frequently is people avoiding red cabbage because they associate it with coleslaw made with mayonnaise and sugar. Traditional coleslaw recipes can contain 15 to 20 grams of added sugar per serving, which completely cancels out the blood sugar benefits of the cabbage. Stick to oil and vinegar-based preparations, or make your own mayonnaise using avocado oil and apple cider vinegar. Red cabbage is also incredibly shelf-stable, often lasting 2 to 3 weeks in the refrigerator when stored properly. This makes it an excellent option for meal planning and batch cooking, which is crucial for maintaining consistent blood sugar control. Vegetable number 4. Eggplant, the satiety specialist. Eggplant is perhaps the most misunderstood vegetable when it comes to blood sugar management, mainly because most people only know it in its breaded, fried, cheese-covered Italian preparations. But when prepared correctly, eggplant becomes one of the most effective tools for preventing blood sugar spikes and maintaining stable glucose levels for hours. 1 cup of cubed, cooked eggplant contains only 8 grams of carbohydrates and over 3 grams of fiber, but its real superpower lies in its unique cellular structure. Eggplant contains high levels of soluble fiber that forms a gel-like substance in your stomach, dramatically slowing the absorption of glucose and creating extended feelings of fullness. Research from the University of Barcelona found that compounds in eggplant skin can inhibit certain enzymes involved in carbohydrate digestion, essentially acting like a natural version of medications used to control post-meal blood sugar spikes. The key is keeping the skin on when you prepare it, as this is where the highest concentrations of beneficial compounds are found. The most effective preparation method for blood sugar control is roasting eggplant in cubes with minimal oil. Cut a large eggplant into 1-inch cubes, leaving the skin on, then toss with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, salt, pepper, and your favorite herbs like oregano, thyme, or rosemary. Roast at 400 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes until the edges are golden brown and the interior is creamy. This preparation method concentrates the flavors while maintaining the fiber structure that's so crucial for blood sugar stability. The olive oil helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins in eggplant while adding satiety without spiking glucose levels. You can also prepare eggplant by grilling thick slices, which creates a satisfying, almost meat-like texture that can help reduce cravings for higher-carb comfort foods. Cut eggplant into half-inch thick rounds, brush lightly with olive oil and season with salt, pepper, and garlic powder, then grill for 4 to 5 minutes per side until tender and marked. The proper portion size for eggplant is 1 cup of cooked cubes or 2 to 3 grilled slices. Because eggplant has such a high water content, it's very filling relative to its carbohydrate content, making it an excellent choice for people who struggle with portion control or late-night snacking. One crucial mistake people make with eggplant is salting it and letting it drain before cooking, which is often recommended to remove bitterness. While this technique has its place in certain preparations for blood sugar management, you want to retain as much of the natural fiber and water content as possible. Modern eggplant varieties are much less bitter than older ones, so this step is usually unnecessary. Another common error is using eggplant in dishes with high sugar sauces like sweet and sour preparations or marinara sauces with added sugar. Always read labels carefully, as many commercial pasta sauces contain 4 to 8 grams of added sugar per serving, which can completely negate the blood sugar benefits of the eggplant. Eggplant is also excellent for meal prep because it reheats well and actually improves in flavor after a day in the refrigerator as the seasonings penetrate the flesh. You can roast a large batch on Sunday and use it throughout the week in salads, grain bowls, or as a side dish. Vegetable number 5. Okra, the mucilage marvel. Okra might be the most controversial vegetable on this list due to its unique texture, but it's also potentially the most powerful for blood sugar control. The slimy substance that many people find off-putting is actually a type of soluble fiber called mucilage, and it's this exact compound that makes okra so effective at stabilizing glucose levels. 1 cup of cooked okra contains only 7 grams of carbohydrates and over 3 grams of fiber, but the mucilage acts like a natural time-release system for any carbohydrates you eat alongside it. Research from the University of Georgia found that okra extract could reduce blood sugar spikes by up to 25% when consumed before high-carbohydrate meals. The mucilage in okra works by forming a protective gel around food particles in your stomach, slowing their movement into the small intestine where glucose absorption occurs. This creates a more gradual, sustained release of glucose into your bloodstream rather than the rapid spikes that can damage blood vessels and organs over time. The key to preparing okra for blood sugar benefits while minimizing the texture issues is to cook it quickly at high heat, which reduces the mucilage production while maintaining the beneficial compounds. My preferred method is to slice okra into half-inch rounds and sauté them in a hot pan with olive oil for just 3 to 4 minutes until they're tender but still have some structure. You can also prepare okra by roasting it whole in the oven, which completely eliminates the sliminess while concentrating the flavors. Trim the stems from small okra pods, toss with olive oil, salt, and pepper, then roast at 425 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes until they're lightly browned and tender. Another excellent preparation method is to add okra to soups and stews during the last 10 minutes of cooking. The mucilage will naturally thicken the liquid without the need for flour or other thickening agents that can spike blood sugar, and the flavor of okra becomes much milder when combined with other vegetables and proteins. The proper portion size for okra is 1 cup of sliced, cooked pods. Because okra is so low in calories and high in fiber, you can eat generous portions, and the mucilage will help you feel satisfied with smaller amounts of other foods in your meal. One mistake people make with okra is overcooking it, which breaks down the beneficial fiber structure and creates an unpleasantly slimy texture. Okra should be cooked just until tender with a slight firmness remaining. Overcooked okra not only tastes worse but also loses much of its blood sugar stabilizing properties. If you're absolutely opposed to the texture of cooked okra, you can actually eat it raw when it's young and tender. Raw okra has a pleasant, almost cucumber-like crunch and contains the highest levels of beneficial compounds. Add thin slices to salads or eat small pods as a crunchy snack with hummus or guacamole. Okra is also incredibly rich in magnesium and potassium, minerals that are crucial for proper insulin function and blood pressure regulation. Many people over 50 are deficient in these minerals, making okra an excellent choice for addressing multiple health concerns simultaneously. Vegetable number 6. Zucchini, the volume champion. Zucchini might seem like a simple, boring vegetable, but it's actually one of the most versatile and effective tools for blood sugar management, especially for people who struggle with portion control or food cravings. The secret lies in zucchini's incredible ability to add volume and satisfaction to meals without contributing significant carbohydrates or calories. 1 cup of sliced, cooked zucchini contains only 4 grams of carbohydrates and over 1 gram of fiber, but its real value comes from its high water content and ability to absorb flavors from other ingredients. This makes it perfect for creating satisfying, filling meals that won't spike your blood sugar but will keep you satisfied for hours. The most revolutionary way to use zucchini for blood sugar control is as a pasta replacement. Using a spiralizer or vegetable peeler, you can create long noodle-like strips that provide the same satisfying, slurp-worthy experience as traditional pasta but with 90% fewer carbohydrates. 1 cup of zucchini noodles contains only 4 grams of carbs compared to 43 grams in regular pasta. To prepare zucchini noodles properly, you need to remove excess moisture to prevent them from becoming soggy. After spiralizing, lay the noodles on paper towels, sprinkle with salt, and let them sit for 15 minutes. Then pat them dry and sauté in a hot pan with olive oil for just 2 to 3 minutes until they're heated through but still have some firmness. You can also prepare zucchini by slicing it into rounds and grilling or roasting until tender. This preparation method concentrates the flavors while maintaining the fiber structure. Cut zucchini into quarter-inch thick rounds, brush with olive oil, season with herbs like basil or oregano, then grill for 3 minutes per side or roast at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. Another excellent preparation method is to stuff large zucchini with a mixture of ground turkey or lean beef, diced tomatoes, onions and herbs. This creates a complete, satisfying meal with perfect macronutrient balance. The zucchini provides fiber and volume, the protein provides satiety and blood sugar stability, and the herbs and spices add flavor without any glucose-spiking ingredients. The proper portion size for zucchini is 1 to 2 cups of sliced or spiralized vegetable. Because zucchini is so low in calories and carbohydrates, you can be very generous with portions, which is particularly helpful for people who are used to eating large volumes of higher carb foods like rice, pasta, or bread. One common mistake with zucchini is not removing enough moisture before cooking, which results in watery, unappetizing dishes. Always salt zucchini and let it drain for at least 15 minutes before cooking, then pat it completely dry with paper towels. This simple step makes the difference between soggy, flavorless zucchini and a delicious, satisfying vegetable that you'll actually want to eat. Another error is cooking zucchini too long, which breaks down its fiber structure and creates a mushy texture. Zucchini should be cooked just until tender crisp, retaining some firmness and bright color. Overcooked zucchini not only tastes worse but also becomes less filling, which defeats the purpose of using it for blood sugar and weight management. Zucchini is also excellent for meal prep because it can be spiralized ahead of time and stored in the refrigerator for up to 3 days, or the whole vegetables can be stored for up to 2 weeks. This makes it easy to have a low-carb pasta alternative ready whenever you need a quick, blood sugar-friendly meal. Vegetable number 7. Bell peppers, the colorful stabilizers. Bell peppers in all their vibrant colors red, yellow, orange, and green round out our list of 7 essential vegetables for blood sugar control. What makes bell peppers particularly valuable is their combination of low carbohydrate content, high fiber levels, and incredible versatility in meal preparation. 1 cup of sliced bell peppers contains only 7 grams of carbohydrates and over 2 grams of fiber, but they also provide more vitamin C than citrus fruits and significant amounts of vitamin A and potassium. The vitamin C is particularly important for people over 50 because it helps improve insulin sensitivity and reduces inflammation in blood vessels. Different colored bell peppers actually have slightly different nutritional profiles. Red bell peppers contain the highest levels of vitamin C and beneficial plant compounds, while green bell peppers are lowest in natural sugars, making them the best choice for people with severe blood sugar sensitivity. Yellow and orange peppers fall somewhere in between, offering a good balance of nutrients and flavor. The most effective way to prepare bell peppers for blood sugar control is to roast them until they're slightly caramelized, which concentrates their natural sweetness without adding any external sugars. Cut peppers into strips, toss with olive oil and a pinch of salt, then roast at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until the edges are lightly browned. This roasting process actually increases the bioavailability of certain nutrients while creating a satisfying sweetness that can help reduce cravings for high-sugar desserts. The natural sugars in the peppers caramelize during roasting, creating complex flavors that make vegetables more appealing to people who typically prefer processed, high-carb foods. You can also prepare bell peppers by stuffing them with a mixture of ground turkey, cauliflower rice, diced tomatoes, and herbs. This creates a complete, balanced meal with the pepper serving as both a vegetable serving and a creative presentation method. The pepper walls help portion control while adding fiber and nutrients to the meal. Another excellent preparation method is to add bell pepper strips to stir-fries during the last few minutes of cooking. They add crunch, color, and sweetness while maintaining their nutritional integrity. The key is not to overcook them. Bell peppers should retain some firmness and bright color for maximum appeal and nutrition. The proper portion size for bell peppers is 1 cup of strips or 1 large whole pepper if you're preparing stuffed peppers. Because they're naturally sweet and satisfying, bell peppers can help reduce cravings for high-carb snacks and desserts when eaten as part of a balanced meal. One mistake people make with bell peppers is removing all the white membrane and seeds, which actually contain beneficial compounds and fiber. While you don't want large pieces of membrane in your finished dish, completely scraping out every bit removes valuable nutrients. Remove the large pieces but don't obsess over getting every speck. Another common error is cooking bell peppers until they're completely soft, which destroys their vitamin C content and makes them less satisfying to eat. Bell peppers should retain some crunch and structure even when cooked, providing textural interest that helps with satiety and meal satisfaction. Bell peppers are also excellent for meal prep because they maintain their texture and flavor well when roasted ahead of time. You can roast a large batch on the weekend and add them to salads, grain bowls, omelets, or eat them as snacks throughout the week. Now that I've covered all 7 vegetables, let me share the complete system for using them to achieve stable blood sugar levels and optimal health after 50. The complete 50+ plate method. The key to getting maximum blood sugar benefits from these 7 vegetables isn't just eating them, it's structuring your entire meal and eating sequence correctly. This is where most people, even those following otherwise healthy diets, go completely wrong. Here's the complete system. Half of your plate should be filled with a combination of these 7 vegetables. Not a small side portion, not a garnish, but literally half the visual space on your plate. This might seem like a lot if you're used to traditional meal structures, but remember, we're prioritizing blood sugar stability over conventional food portions. The remaining half of your plate should be divided equally between protein and complex carbohydrates. 1/4 should be lean protein like fish, poultry, eggs, tofu, or legumes. The final 1/4 should be complex carbohydrates like quinoa, brown rice, sweet potato, or legumes if you're using them as your protein source. But here's the crucial part that makes this system so effective: the order in which you eat these foods. Start with the vegetables and protein, eating at least half of them before touching the carbohydrates. Then add a small amount of healthy fat like olive oil, avocado, nuts, or seeds. Finally, finish with the complex carbohydrates. This eating sequence is based on research from Weill Cornell Medical College that showed consuming protein and vegetables before carbohydrates can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 37% compared to eating the same foods in a different order or all mixed together. The mechanism behind this is fascinating. When you eat fiber and protein first, they create a physical barrier in your stomach that slows the movement of food into your small intestine. This delays and moderates the absorption of glucose, preventing the rapid spikes that can reach dangerous levels and stay elevated for hours. Additionally, eating protein before carbohydrates stimulates the release of incretin hormones like GLP-1, which improve insulin sensitivity and slow gastric emptying. This natural hormone response helps your body process glucose more effectively, essentially turning your digestive system into a time-release mechanism for stable blood sugar. Practical meal combinations that prevent spikes. Let me give you specific examples of how to combine these 7 vegetables into complete meals that will keep your blood sugar stable while providing satisfying, delicious food experiences. For breakfast, try a vegetable omelet using bell peppers, sautéed kale, and zucchini. Beat 3 eggs with a splash of water, heat a tablespoon of olive oil in a non-stick pan, add the vegetables and cook for 2 minutes, then pour in the eggs and cook until set. This provides high-quality protein, multiple servings of blood sugar stabilizing vegetables, and healthy fats, all with minimal carbohydrates. For lunch, create a power bowl with roasted eggplant and bell peppers over massaged kale, topped with grilled chicken or fish and a small portion of quinoa. Drizzle with olive oil and lemon juice, and eat the vegetables and protein before touching the quinoa. This meal structure provides sustained energy without blood sugar spikes. For dinner, try stuffed zucchini boats filled with ground turkey, diced bell peppers and herbs, served alongside sautéed collard greens and a small portion of brown rice. The vegetables provide volume and fiber, the turkey provides protein and satiety, and the small amount of rice provides complex carbohydrates without overwhelming your glucose response. One of the most effective meal combinations I've discovered is what I call the rainbow salad method. Combine raw red cabbage, bell peppers of different colors, and massaged kale with grilled protein and a dressing made from olive oil, apple cider vinegar, and herbs. This creates a visually appealing, incredibly nutritious meal that provides sustained energy and stable blood sugar for hours. You can also create satisfying soups and stews that incorporate multiple vegetables from our list. Start with a base of sautéed onions and garlic, add broccoli, okra, zucchini, and bell peppers, then include your protein source and a small amount of beans or lentils for complex carbohydrates. The vegetables will naturally thicken the soup while providing fiber and nutrients. Advanced preparation techniques that maximize benefits. Beyond the basic cooking methods I've shared for each vegetable, there are advanced preparation techniques that can further enhance their blood sugar stabilizing properties. Fermentation is one of the most powerful techniques for increasing the beneficial compounds in vegetables. Fermented red cabbage, also known as sauerkraut, contains higher levels of probiotics and certain vitamins than fresh cabbage, plus the fermentation process pre-digests some of the fiber, making the nutrients more bioavailable while maintaining blood sugar benefits. You can easily ferment cabbage at home by shredding it, massaging with salt until it releases liquid, then packing it tightly in a jar and leaving it at room temperature for 3 to 7 days. The natural fermentation process creates beneficial bacteria that support gut health, which is increasingly linked to improved blood sugar control. Another advanced technique is blanching and shocking vegetables to preserve their color, texture, and nutrient content. This involves briefly boiling vegetables for 1 to 2 minutes, then immediately plunging them into ice water to stop the cooking process. This technique is particularly effective for broccoli, okra, and bell peppers, creating vegetables that retain their crunch and bright colors while being partially cooked and easier to digest. Marinating vegetables before cooking can also enhance their blood sugar benefits. A marinade made from apple cider vinegar, olive oil, herbs, and spices not only adds flavor but also pre-treats the vegetables with compounds that improve glucose metabolism. Let vegetables marinate for at least 30 minutes, or up to 4 hours for deeper flavor penetration. The technique of sweating vegetables, cooking them slowly in their own moisture with minimal added fat, is particularly effective for eggplant and zucchini. This method concentrates flavors while maintaining the cellular structure that's so important for blood sugar control. Heat a heavy-bottomed pan, add vegetables with just a pinch of salt, cover and cook on low heat until tender. The science of meal timing and blood sugar control. Understanding when to eat these vegetables throughout the day can significantly impact their effectiveness for blood sugar management. Research from the University of Alabama found that eating the same foods at different times of day can produce dramatically different glucose responses, especially in people over 50. Your insulin sensitivity naturally fluctuates throughout the day, being highest in the morning and gradually declining as the day progresses. This means your body is most efficient at processing carbohydrates early in the day and least efficient in the evening. However, the fiber-rich vegetables on our list help moderate this natural variation. For optimal blood sugar control, include at least 2 of these 7 vegetables in every meal, with the largest portions at breakfast and lunch when your metabolism is most active. Evening meals should emphasize the vegetables with the lowest carbohydrate content, zucchini, bell peppers, and leafy greens, while reserving slightly higher carb options like eggplant for earlier in the day. The timing between meals is also crucial. Spacing meals 4 to 5 hours apart allows your blood sugar to return to baseline levels between eating episodes, preventing the cumulative spikes that can occur with frequent snacking or grazing. The high fiber content of these vegetables helps maintain stable energy levels during these longer intervals. If you do need to snack between meals, Choose raw versions of these vegetables with a small amount of protein or healthy fat. Raw bell pepper strips with almond butter, cucumber rounds with hummus, or cherry tomatoes with cheese provide sustained energy without disrupting your overall glucose patterns. Hydration and blood sugar, the missing connection. One often overlooked aspect of blood sugar management is proper hydration, and the vegetables on our list can contribute significantly to your daily fluid intake while providing additional benefits for glucose control. Dehydration can actually cause blood sugar levels to rise because your blood becomes more concentrated, making glucose readings artificially higher. The high water content in zucchini, bell peppers, and leafy greens helps maintain proper hydration while providing bulk and satisfaction without calories. Additionally, proper hydration improves kidney function, which is crucial for filtering excess glucose from the blood. The potassium in these vegetables works synergistically with adequate water intake to support healthy kidney function and blood pressure regulation. Aim to drink at least half your body weight in ounces of water daily, and count the water content from these vegetables as part of your total intake. A large salad made from leafy greens, bell peppers, and zucchini can provide the equivalent of 1 to 2 cups of water while delivering fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Understanding and avoiding common preparation mistakes. Even with the best intentions, many people sabotage the blood sugar benefits of these vegetables through common preparation errors. Let me walk you through the most frequent mistakes and how to avoid them. The biggest mistake is drowning vegetables in high-sugar sauces or dressings. Commercial barbecue sauce can contain 12 grams of sugar per tablespoon, while sweet and sour sauce can have even more. Even seemingly healthy options like balsamic glaze or honey mustard can spike blood sugar if used in typical restaurant portions. Instead, create your own dressings using olive oil, vinegar, lemon juice, herbs, and spices. A basic vinaigrette made with 2 parts olive oil to 1 part apple cider vinegar, plus mustard, herbs, and garlic, provides flavor enhancement while actually improving blood sugar response. Another common error is overcooking vegetables until they lose their fiber structure and beneficial compounds. Vegetables should retain some texture and bright color when cooked. Overcooked vegetables not only taste worse but also digest more quickly, leading to faster glucose absorption and higher blood sugar spikes. The third major mistake is inadequate portion sizes. Many people add a few florets of broccoli or a small side salad and think they're getting adequate vegetable intake. Remember, these vegetables should comprise half of your plate, not a small accompaniment to the real food. Seasoning mistakes can also undermine blood sugar benefits. Avoid seasoning blends that contain added sugars, which are surprisingly common in commercial spice mixes. Read ingredient lists carefully, and stick to single-ingredient spices and herbs, or create your own blends using pure spices without additives. The role of gut health and blood sugar control. Recent research has revealed fascinating connections between gut health and blood sugar regulation, and the vegetables on our list play crucial roles in supporting beneficial gut bacteria that improve glucose metabolism. The fiber in these vegetables serves as prebiotic food for beneficial bacteria in your intestines. These bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation throughout the body. A healthy gut microbiome can actually lower your overall blood sugar response to meals. Different types of fiber feed different bacterial strains, which is why variety is so important. The soluble fiber in okra feeds different bacteria than the insoluble fiber in broccoli stems, creating a diverse microbial ecosystem that supports optimal metabolism. Fermented versions of these vegetables, like sauerkraut made from red cabbage, provide both fiber and beneficial bacteria, creating a synergistic effect for blood sugar control. Even if you can't ferment vegetables yourself, look for unpasteurized, naturally fermented options in the refrigerated section of health food stores. The polyphenol in colorful vegetables like red cabbage and bell peppers also act as prebiotics, feeding beneficial bacteria while providing antioxidant protection. This dual action helps explain why people who eat the most colorful vegetables tend to have the best blood sugar control and lowest rates of diabetes complications. Seasonal eating and blood sugar management. While all 7 vegetables on our list are available year-round in most areas, eating seasonally can provide additional benefits for blood sugar control and overall health. Seasonal eating typically means fresher, more nutrient-dense produce that hasn't traveled thousands of miles or been stored for months. Summer is the ideal time for fresh bell peppers, zucchini, and eggplant, when they're at peak flavor and nutrient density. These vegetables are naturally cooling and hydrating, perfect for hot weather when dehydration can worsen blood sugar control. Fall brings peak season for cabbages and hardier leafy greens like collard greens and kale. These vegetables store well and can be preserved through fermentation or freezing, providing blood sugar stabilizing nutrition throughout the winter months. Winter is actually an excellent time to focus on cooked preparations of these vegetables, roasted eggplant, sautéed greens, and warm vegetable soups that provide comfort and satisfaction without the blood sugar spikes associated with traditional winter comfort foods. Spring offers the freshest, most tender versions of leafy greens, perfect for raw preparations that maximize nutrient content and provide a refreshing change after months of cooked foods. Budget-friendly strategies for year-round vegetable access. One concern I frequently hear is that eating large quantities of vegetables is expensive, but with proper planning and preparation strategies, these 7 vegetables can actually reduce your overall food costs while dramatically improving your health. Buying in-season vegetables and preserving them yourself can provide significant savings. A large head of cabbage might cost $2 and provide 8 to 10 cups of prepared vegetable, making it one of the most economical sources of fiber and nutrients available. Frozen versions of these vegetables, when available, can be just as nutritious as fresh and often more affordable. Frozen broccoli in particular, is often more consistent in quality than fresh broccoli that's been shipped long distances. Just avoid frozen vegetables with added sauces, seasonings, or preservatives. Growing your own vegetables, even in containers on a balcony or windowsill, can provide fresh, nutrient-dense produce at minimal cost. Leafy greens, in particular, are easy to grow and can be harvested multiple times from the same plant. Shopping at farmers markets near closing time can yield significant discounts on high-quality, fresh vegetables that would otherwise go unsold. Many vendors prefer to sell at reduced prices rather than transport unsold produce back to their farms. Joining a community-supported agriculture program or buying club can provide weekly boxes of fresh, seasonal vegetables at wholesale prices, often including varieties you might not try otherwise. Special considerations for common health conditions. While these 7 vegetables are generally safe and beneficial for most people over 50, certain health conditions require special consideration and medical supervision when making significant dietary changes. If you're taking insulin or medications that lower blood sugar, like sulfonylureas, the high fiber content and blood sugar stabilizing effects of these vegetables might require medication adjustments. Work closely with your healthcare provider to monitor your glucose levels and adjust medications as needed. Never discontinue or adjust diabetes medications without professional supervision. For people taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, the high vitamin K content in leafy greens requires consistent intake rather than dramatic increases or decreases. This doesn't mean avoiding these vegetables, but rather maintaining steady consumption levels and working with your doctor to establish the right medication dose for your dietary pattern. Individuals with kidney disease need to be cautious about the potassium content in some of these vegetables, particularly leafy greens and bell peppers. Work with a renal dietitian to determine appropriate portions and preparation methods that fit within your overall kidney health plan. People with digestive conditions like irritable bowel syndrome might need to introduce high-fiber vegetables gradually to avoid digestive discomfort. Start with smaller portions and cooked preparations, gradually increasing to raw preparations as your digestive system adapts. Those with thyroid conditions should be aware that large quantities of raw cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, and cabbage can potentially interfere with thyroid hormone production. Cooking these vegetables neutralizes most of these compounds, and moderate intake is generally not problematic for most people with thyroid issues. The psychology of sustainable dietary change. Making lasting changes to your eating patterns requires more than just nutritional knowledge. It requires understanding the psychological and emotional aspects of food choices, especially for people over 50 who have decades of established eating patterns. One of the most effective strategies is the crowding out method rather than restriction-focused approaches. Instead of focusing on what you can't eat, concentrate on adding these beneficial vegetables to meals you already enjoy. This positive approach feels less restrictive and more sustainable long-term. Start by adding one new vegetable preparation to your routine each week, rather than trying to overhaul your entire diet immediately. This gradual approach allows your taste preferences to adapt while building confidence in your cooking skills and meal planning abilities. Address the social aspects of eating by involving family members or friends in meal preparation and sharing information about the health benefits you're experiencing. Social support significantly improves the likelihood of maintaining dietary changes long-term. Prepare for situations that challenge your new eating patterns such as restaurants, social gatherings, or travel. Having strategies in place, like asking for extra vegetables instead of starches at restaurants, or packing prepared vegetables for travel, prevents temporary setbacks from becoming permanent reversions to old patterns. Keep a simple log of how you feel after meals that include these vegetables versus meals without them. Noticing improvements in energy, mood, and blood sugar stability provides powerful motivation to continue these positive changes. Advanced blood sugar monitoring for optimal results. While traditional fingerstick blood glucose monitoring provides valuable information, understanding how to use this data to optimize your vegetable intake can dramatically improve your results. Test your blood sugar before meals and again 1 to 2 hours after eating to understand your personal glucose response to different vegetable combinations and preparation methods. This information helps you identify which vegetables and cooking methods work best for your individual metabolism. Keep a simple food and glucose log that includes not just what you ate, but when you ate it, how it was prepared, and what order you consumed the different food components. This detailed information can reveal patterns that aren't obvious from casual observation. Pay attention to factors beyond food that affect blood sugar, such as stress levels, sleep quality, medication timing, and physical activity. Understanding these relationships helps you optimize your overall blood sugar control strategy rather than focusing solely on diet. Consider using a continuous glucose monitor if your healthcare provider agrees it would be beneficial. These devices provide real-time glucose data that can help you understand exactly how different vegetables and meal combinations affect your blood sugar throughout the day. Creating your personal vegetable action plan. Now that you understand the science and practical applications of these 7 vegetables, let's create a specific action plan for incorporating them into your daily routine in a way that fits your lifestyle, preferences, and health goals. Week 1. Choose 3 of the 7 vegetables that appeal most to you and prepare each one using the basic cooking methods I've described. Focus on proper portions. Remember, vegetables should fill half your plate, and eating them before any carbohydrates in your meals. Week 2. Add the remaining 4 vegetables to your repertoire, trying at least one new preparation method. Begin experimenting with the eating sequence I described, consuming vegetables and protein before carbohydrates. Week 3. Start combining multiple vegetables in single dishes, creating colorful, varied meals that provide different types of fiber and nutrients. Practice the 50+ plate method with proper proportions of vegetables, protein, and carbohydrates. Week 4. Focus on meal timing and advanced preparation techniques. Experiment with batch cooking, proper storage methods, and meal prep strategies that make it easy to maintain these healthy patterns long-term. Monitor your blood sugar, energy levels, and overall well-being throughout this 4-week transition. Most people notice improvements in energy and mood within the first week, with more significant changes in blood sugar patterns emerging over the full month. The long-term vision: health and vitality after 50. The goal of incorporating these 7 vegetables into your daily routine isn't just better blood sugar control, although that's certainly important. The ultimate objective is maintaining independence, energy, and quality of life as you age, avoiding the complications and limitations that uncontrolled diabetes can create. Think about what you want your life to look like at 60, 70, and beyond. Do you want to be energetic enough to travel, play with grandchildren, pursue hobbies, and maintain your independence? Or do you want to be managing multiple medications, dealing with the fatigue and complications of unstable blood sugar, and gradually losing the ability to enjoy the activities that make life meaningful? The choices you make today about something as simple as which vegetables to put on your plate have profound implications for your future health and happiness. Every meal is an opportunity to either support your long-term vitality or contribute to the gradual decline that many people accept as inevitable aging. But here's the empowering truth. Much of what we consider normal aging is actually the result of years of blood sugar instability, chronic inflammation, and poor nutrition. By taking control of these factors now, you can dramatically alter your health trajectory and maintain energy and independence far longer than you might think possible. These 7 vegetables: broccoli, leafy greens, red cabbage, eggplant, okra, zucchini, and bell peppers represent more than just food choices. They're tools for taking control of your health destiny, reducing your dependence on medications, and creating the foundation for a vibrant, active life in your later decades. Common questions and concerns addressed. Let me address some of the most common questions and concerns I hear about implementing this vegetable-focused approach to blood sugar management. I've never been a vegetable person. How can I learn to like these foods? Taste preferences can absolutely change, especially when you're preparing vegetables correctly and experiencing the energy and health benefits they provide. Start with the mildest options like bell peppers and zucchini, use plenty of herbs and spices for flavor, and focus on the cooking methods that appeal most to you. Many people find that roasting vegetables brings out natural sweetness that makes them much more appealing than steamed or boiled preparations. This seems like a lot of food. Won't I gain weight eating this much? The vegetables on this list are extremely low in calories relative to their volume and fiber content. A cup of zucchini contains only 20 calories, while a cup of cooked broccoli has about 55 calories. Compare this to a cup of rice at over 200 calories or a cup of pasta at over 220 calories. You'll actually be eating fewer total calories while feeling more satisfied and maintaining stable blood sugar. I don't have time for all this food preparation. Many of these vegetables can be prepared in large batches once or twice a week and stored for quick meal assembly. Roasted vegetables keep well in the refrigerator for 4 to 5 days, raw vegetables can be prepped and stored for 3 to 4 days, and simple preparations like steamed broccoli take less than 5 minutes. Investing a few hours in meal prep each week can actually save time during busy weekdays. My family won't eat these vegetables. Start by adding these vegetables to dishes your family already enjoys rather than serving them as separate side dishes. Finely chopped bell peppers and zucchini disappear into pasta sauces and casseroles, while leafy greens can be blended into smoothies or soups. Focus on preparing vegetables in appealing ways with familiar flavors rather than presenting them as health food that needs to be endured. I'm worried about digestive issues from eating this much fiber. If you're not used to eating high-fiber foods, introduce these vegetables gradually over several weeks to allow your digestive system to adapt. Start with cooked preparations, which are easier to digest than raw vegetables, and make sure you're drinking adequate water to help the fiber move through your system properly. Most people find that digestive function actually improves once they adapt to higher fiber intake. Can I take fiber supplements instead of eating all these vegetables? Fiber supplements can be helpful additions to your routine, but they don't provide the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other beneficial compounds found in whole vegetables. Additionally, the act of chewing vegetables and the volume they provide contribute to satiety and meal satisfaction in ways that supplements cannot replicate. Think of supplements as additions to, not replacements for, whole food sources of fiber. What if I travel frequently or eat out often? Most restaurants are willing to substitute extra vegetables for starches like rice or potatoes, especially if you explain that you have dietary restrictions. Carry small containers of prepared vegetables for travel snacks, and look for restaurants that offer salad bars or vegetable-heavy cuisines. Many chain restaurants now provide detailed nutritional information that can help you make informed choices about vegetable-rich options. Troubleshooting common implementation challenges. Even with the best intentions and knowledge, you'll likely encounter some challenges as you implement this vegetable-focused approach. Here are solutions to the most common obstacles. Blood sugar still spiking despite eating vegetables. Check the order in which you're eating your food. Many people eat everything mixed together, which reduces the blood sugar stabilizing benefits. Make sure you're eating at least half of your vegetables and protein before touching any carbohydrates. Also verify that you're not consuming hidden sugars in sauces, dressings, or seasonings. Vegetables turning out bland or unappetizing. This is almost always a seasoning or cooking technique issue rather than a problem with the vegetables themselves. Don't be afraid to use generous amounts of herbs, spices, garlic, ginger, and healthy fats like olive oil. Proper seasoning can transform even simple steamed broccoli into a delicious, satisfying dish. Feeling hungry shortly after vegetable-heavy meals. This usually indicates insufficient protein or healthy fats in the meal. Make sure you're including adequate protein with every meal, aim for at least 20 to 30 grams, and don't be afraid of healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, nuts, or seeds. These macronutrients work together with fiber to provide lasting satiety. Family resistance or social pressure. Focus on the positive changes you're experiencing, improved energy, better sleep, more stable moods, rather than lecturing about health benefits. Lead by example and make the food so delicious that others want to try it. Consider preparing familiar dishes with added vegetables rather than completely changing your family's eating patterns. Overwhelm with meal planning and preparation. Start smaller than you think you need to. Pick 3 vegetables and 3 preparation methods to master before expanding your repertoire. Batch cooking and meal prep can seem daunting initially, but even preparing 1 or 2 components ahead of time can make weeknight meals much more manageable. The ripple effects, beyond blood sugar control. While we focus primarily on blood sugar management, the benefits of incorporating these 7 vegetables into your daily routine extend far beyond glucose control. Understanding these additional benefits can provide extra motivation during challenging times. Cardiovascular health improvements often become apparent within weeks of increasing vegetable intake. The fiber, potassium, and antioxidants in these vegetables support healthy blood pressure, improve cholesterol profiles, and reduce inflammation in blood vessels. Many people find that their blood pressure medications need adjustment as their overall cardiovascular health improves. Weight management becomes significantly easier when vegetables comprise half of your meals. The high fiber and water content provides satiety with minimal calories, naturally reducing portion sizes of higher calorie foods. The stable blood sugar levels prevent the energy crashes that often lead to cravings for sugary or high-carb comfort foods. Digestive health typically improves dramatically as beneficial gut bacteria flourish with increased fiber intake. Many people experience more regular bowel movements, reduced bloating, and better overall digestive comfort. The prebiotic effects of vegetable fiber create a healthier gut microbiome, which influences everything from mood to immune function. Mental clarity and mood stability often improve as blood sugar fluctuations diminish. The brain relies on steady glucose levels for optimal function, and the stable energy provided by high-fiber, nutrient-dense meals supports better cognitive performance throughout the day. Sleep quality frequently improves as evening blood sugar spikes become less common. Many people find they fall asleep more easily and sleep more deeply when their blood sugar remains stable throughout the evening hours. Building your support network. Sustainable dietary changes are much easier to maintain when you have support from family, friends, and healthcare providers. Building this network requires some proactive effort but pays dividends in long-term success. Share your goals and the science behind your dietary changes with family members who share meals with you. When people understand why you're making these changes and how they benefit your health, they're more likely to be supportive rather than resistant. Find at least one friend or family member who's interested in improving their own health and invite them to join you in trying these new eating patterns. Having a partner in healthy change provides accountability, makes meal preparation more enjoyable, and gives you someone to share successes and challenges with. Work with your healthcare providers to monitor your progress and adjust medications as needed. Many doctors are thrilled to see patients taking proactive steps to improve their health through diet, and they can provide valuable guidance and monitoring as you implement these changes. Consider joining online communities or local groups focused on healthy eating or diabetes management. Connecting with others who share similar goals provides ongoing motivation, practical tips, and encouragement during challenging times. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your success stories. As you experience improvements in energy, blood sugar control, and overall well-being, sharing these positive changes with others can inspire them to make similar improvements in their own lives. Your next steps: taking action today. Knowledge without action produces no results, so let's create a specific plan for implementing what you've learned starting with your very next meal. Right now, identify which 3 of the 7 vegetables you already have in your kitchen or can easily obtain today. If you need to go shopping, add at least 4 of these vegetables to your shopping list. Broccoli, leafy greens like kale or spinach, bell peppers, and zucchini are good starting choices because they're versatile and widely available. For your next meal, regardless of what you had planned, modify it to include at least 1 cup of vegetables from our list prepared using the methods I've described. If you were planning pasta, add zucchini noodles or roasted bell peppers. If you were planning a sandwich, add a large salad with leafy greens and raw bell peppers on the side. Practice the eating sequence: vegetables and protein first, then a small amount of healthy fat, then carbohydrates last. This might feel awkward initially, but it becomes natural within a few days of consistent practice. Measure your blood sugar before and 2 hours after this modified meal to establish a baseline understanding of how these changes affect your personal glucose response. Write down what you ate when you ate it and how you felt both immediately after the meal and 2 hours later. Schedule time this week to batch prepare at least 2 of these vegetables using the methods I've described. Having prepared vegetables ready in your refrigerator makes it much easier to maintain these healthy patterns during busy days. Most importantly, commit to trying this approach consistently for at least 2 weeks before making any judgments about its effectiveness or sustainability. 2 weeks provides enough time for your taste preferences to begin adapting and for you to see meaningful changes in your energy levels and blood sugar patterns. The transformation ahead. As we wrap up this comprehensive guide to using 7 powerful vegetables for blood sugar control after 50, I want you to envision the transformation that's possible when you consistently apply these principles. Imagine waking up each morning with steady energy instead of the fatigue and brain fog that often accompany unstable blood sugar. Picture yourself feeling confident about your food choices, knowing that every meal is supporting your long-term health rather than working against it. Think about the freedom that comes from reduced dependence on medications, fewer doctor visits related to diabetes complications, and the peace of mind that comes from taking control of your health destiny. Consider the example you'll set for your family members and the positive impact your transformation might have on their health choices. These 7 vegetables: broccoli, leafy greens, red cabbage, eggplant, okra, zucchini, and bell peppers, are more than just food items. They're tools for transformation, keys to unlocking better health, and your allies in the fight against the complications and limitations that uncontrolled blood sugar can create. The science is clear, the methods are proven, and the benefits extend far beyond blood sugar control. What remains is your commitment to taking action and maintaining consistency long enough to experience the profound changes that are possible. Your health journey doesn't end with this information, it begins here. Every meal is a new opportunity to choose vitality over decline, energy over fatigue, and independence over limitation. The power to transform your health is literally at your fingertips, waiting in the produce section of your grocery store and in the choices you make 3 times a day. The question isn't whether these methods work. The research and countless success stories prove their effectiveness. The question is whether you're ready to prioritize your health, make the necessary changes, and stick with them long enough to experience the life-changing benefits that await. Your future self, the person you'll be at 60, 70, and beyond, is counting on the decisions you make today. Choose wisely, act consistently, and prepare to be amazed by what your body can accomplish when given the proper fuel and care it deserves. The journey to better health starts with a single meal, a single choice, and a single step. Take that step today and begin transforming your relationship with food, your blood sugar control, and your entire health trajectory. Your most vibrant, energetic years can still be ahead of you, and it all starts with putting these 7 powerful vegetables on your plate.